New development tonight in a series of massive state unemployment hacks that we first exposed. Now, attention is shifting from the state to Bank of America, which distributes most of that money. At last count, $105 billion through debit cards we discovered are vulnerable to hackers. KPIX5's Kenny Choi has received more than 100 emails from victims and reports that now lawmakers are taking notice.
From a criminal's perspective, it's the perfect scenario. ATMs give out dollar bills, and cash is king in the underworld. This is how fraudsters are now stealing pandemic jobless funds. It's a sophisticated scam that we uncovered after hearing from more than 100 victims, and now lawmakers are paying attention.
It's just absolutely unacceptable that we have a bank that's not responding. They're not responding to you, not responding to me, not responding to the people who they are serving.
That was Assemblymember Phil Ting's first reaction after watching our reports about rampant hack attacks on debit cards issued by Bank of America, EDD's exclusive card provider.
$1,000.
So 2 transactions of $1,000 each.
Yeah, my mother actually lost $4,806.
We heard from dozens of desperate Californians who lost thousands of dollars, mostly stolen in cash from ATMs miles away from where they live. As we have previously reported, the debit cards do not have chips, making them more vulnerable to fraud. But despite all the obvious red flags,
how did I make 2 transactions in San Diego and Arizona within minutes of each other?
Victims tell us Bank of America is routinely denying their claims and leaving them holding the bag.
Like lies aside.
I was really mad. How can you tell me that I'm not going to get my money back? The money that I earned, that's rightfully mine.
The single mom found out her card was hacked while on a road trip to Pismo Beach with her kids. 2 suspicious withdrawals, one for $200 and another for $800, made that very morning back in the Bay Area.
And I'm thinking, whoa, I'm not in Milpitas, I'm all the way down south. Like, how does that happen? And of course I panicked because I've never had anything happen like this to me before.
Like everyone else, she spent days trying to get through to Bank of America's fraud department to appeal the denial of her claim.
As soon as you tell them that it's a fraud claim and as soon as you give them your claim number, they hang up on you.
She's still out $1,000, money she desperately needs.
I need to feed my kids. That's the most important thing. I need to be able to provide some kind of reassurance to my kids that, hey, you know, I got you guys. Things will be okay.
We really need to know what is the problem and how do we solve it. We're going into the holiday season. This is where people need money to maybe buy a few gifts for their kids, make sure they have a nice holiday season with food. And so if they can't get access to money, I don't know how they can do that.
Ting is now leading a bipartisan effort in Sacramento to demand answers from the bank. In a formal letter, the lawmakers are calling on B of A to explain why it's not unfreezing an unknown number of debit card accounts that EDD has now confirmed are legitimate. As we have been reporting, the bank froze 350,000 accounts several months ago due to suspicious activity.
We have so many people who don't know why they can't access their EDD funds.
Now Ting also wants answers from the bank about the hacks on active accounts that we exposed.
Mr. Ting, what's the next step to help the victims? It's already been several months, and it really looks like there's no solution right now.
Right. Well, I think for all of us, we can continue to pressure EDD to push their vendor to do what their job is. And I think that's what we're going to continue to do. We can also make sure that at the next hearing, Bank of America shows up. You know, the Bank of America needs to respond. If they are under contract to service these individuals and they can't perform, they should just give it up. They should either give us the answers or give it up, and we should find someone else to go do this job.
And we have some good news to report. Lisa got her $1,000 back after we submitted her name to Bank of America. She's now one of 15 victims who got help after we highlighted their cases to the bank, but there are still countless others who are waiting. Exactly how many? We don't know because Bank of America hasn't revealed those numbers. In Corte Madera, Kenny Choi, KPIX5.
Well, Bank of America finally did respond to Assemblyman Ting's letter today. The bank says that it reviews every claim and restores money promptly to legitimate recipients. The bank says that it has increased call staffing to more than 6,000 of its personnel and that most of the 345,000 accounts that EDD asked it to freeze are fraudulent. The losses so far, just on those frozen accounts, at least $2 billion in taxpayer dollars. We have posted letters on kpix.com along with instructions on how to automatically transfer benefits out of your debit card account and into your personal account as soon as that money comes in. That might be the safest option at this point.